This is my second time shooting this, but we are here talking about future Pirate King Buggy D Clown. I wrote some stuff down so I can stay on topic, and we're gonna go through this and we're gonna see why he will become king of the pirates when all this is over. Alright, and don't take this to heart. I obviously don't fully believe this, even though it is a strong possibility, just by the way everything plays out in his favor. But let's get started. We're gonna start at the beginning with him being a part of Gold D. Roger crew, and him being a part of Gold D. Roger's crew, him and a current YANKO, who we all know and love as to be the red-haired Shanks. They are former pirate cabin boys, pirate apprentices, if you want to use proper terms. And they were technically rivals in a sense because they were, competing to be the #1 pirate apprentice, and they all both went off and created their own pirate crews, one more prominent than the other, but one also chose to stay in a lesser area, so that means he was more prone to weaker opponents. They weren't sending top tier Navy people to the part of the East Blue that he was running at, so so that just gives him not really less experience. It's just when you're on such a high crew, and you're around such powerful people, and then you go to pretty much the slums of the slums, and when mountain bandits, what 3,000 berry bounties think, or 9,000 berry bounty thinks there's something special, and you used to roll around with the Pirate King when you were a kid, you're not really showing your strength. So with that being said, he's more of a product. He's circled himself into a bubble, so where he couldn't even really develop more than what he was at that point when he met Luffy. And now when he met Luffy, he was upset because the straw hat reminded him of Shanks and their time together, and how that rivalry used to fuel his passion back in the day. And I think that gave him more of a burst to go back and become not become a bull, go to the Grand Line and chase after Luffy and expand his dream, other than trying to find Captain John's treasure, which I feel is more important than what it seemed at the time when it was mentioned. Now, another good point, now that we're on to when he met Luffy, is when other than when this current fight with Luffy and Kaido, he at that point was the only one to really come close to chopping Luffy's head off. Yeah, he almost got poisoned to death by Magellan, but but for the most part, he was captured. There was definitively no escaping that moment. Other times there were obviously other plot points and other things set in the way where somebody could have showed up to save him. At that point, nobody would have been able to get there in time. Not Zoro, Usopp, nobody. Now moving forward, when he crosses the Grand Line, he gets captured, and then he gets praise for orchestrating the escape from Impel Down. Now, the escape from Impel Down wasn't solely on him, but the way he took charge of it throughout the whole Marineford situation and everything with the war, and how he was pretty much barking out orders and was pretty much proving in front of all the admirals there that he was, you know, forced to be reckoned with. Not only speaking on the fact that he has just an innate ability to rally people to him, somewhat like Luffy does, but he shrouds everything with lies and manipulation, and it works for him. That brings us to our next point, how he used that to take over pretty much Doflamingo's organization after Luffy had defeated him, to move him up when he became a warlord, and increased himself and his warlord status. Not only so, you have him being escaping Impel Down, regaining a crew. His crew, and at that time he got a crew that size supposedly rivals the size of the Grand Fleet, that pretty much orchestrated his whole underground trading situation, where he would like pretty much lend pirates to trade goods and all that. So now, with him currently warlord system abolished, everybody, all the warlords are being under attack right now, he orchestrates an escape. It happens. That's the only way he could have gotten a bump up in status, is if he obviously escaped, because they're not going to give somebody in prison a YANKO status, in my opinion. So that just makes sense to me. Now, there's two things that's really been floating around that I want to talk about now that we've talked about Buggy's whole history up until this point. Now, everybody's saying he could have captured a territory. I was thinking about this earlier. What territory really is he capturing on the run? And half of his crew, half of his subordinates, or more than half of his subordinates, are going to be captured by the Navy after this big battle. I don't really see that being possible. There's no, like, unless somebody can, you know, let me know down in the comment section if I'm missing a place, but I don't see any place Buggy could capture on his excursion trying to escape a military onslaught. So in him leaving half of his forces to pretty much distract them so he can leave, you know, so it's like leaving half of your men to be like, yeah, you guys go take you guys go get arrested for me. I'm gonna take like 30,000 of my men and get them arrested out of my 100,000, and then I have 70,000 with me. You know what I mean? It's that, you know, 70,000 is a lot. So, well, let's just, you know, 15,000. I have 15,000 men. I leave 10,000 to go fight for me, and then I take 5,000 with me, so I still have a decent amount of people on my side. So, or leave 8,000, bring 7,000 with me. Not only that, he probably called in whoever was, you know, out on trades and stuff, and resent them back and be like, oh, meet me at this location. But I just don't see it. Now, not saying it's not possible that he regained some more territory, but In this situation, I feel like the simple answer is going to be the right answer. And with the simple answer, which is he escaped, and he was already a warlord, and he could have been the only warlord that escaped. With that being said, I believe every other warlord got captured. It's the only thing that makes sense, to me at least, of why Buggy of all people. Because I don't think they would have just announced that, oh, Buggy's a YANKO now, and most of them escaped except for 3 people, or 2 people escaped, and they just chose Buggy out of one of them. I believe Buggy was the only one who escaped, or his men actually fended off the Navy. They probably sent people that they didn't, people that weren't worth it, and they doubted his actual strength and thought that they could just send bozos, and his men overpowered them and kicked them off the island that they were at. Those are the only 2 options, in my opinion, that could have happened, that are possible, in my opinion, and those are the ones that I'm gonna go with until it happens, until a month from now when we get the next chapter. But yeah, that's all I have. I definitely want to know your thoughts below. I hope you guys are having a good day, time, night, whenever you guys are listening to this, watching this. Thank you guys for the support.